Okay, so today we are starting graphing lines. The first way we are going to talk about is slope-intercept form. You should have learned this last year. It's the equation of a line using the slope and y-intercept. So what does slope-intercept form look like? Do you remember the equation of a line? Y equals, what did I heard it? Yep. Okay, what does M stand for? No. Slope. And B stands for the y-intercept. Guys, quiet down. Okay, so a y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis. Which one's the y-axis? Up and down or left and right?
Up and down.
Up and down. What's the left and right one called? X. Okay, so slope is the ratio of change in y over the change in x. So it's also known as rise over run. And slope is totally used in the real world. If you're ever driving up a mountain and it tells you like the grade of a mountain, like 6%, that is actually the slope of the mountain. Okay, so I'm just going to rewrite this here. So I have M is the change in y over the change in x. We use triangles, which is the Greek letter delta for change, which is, again, rise over run. Great, so you should be awesome at this chapter. Okay, so this one wants me to find the graph of 4/5 x plus 2. This equation is in slope-intercept form. I want to use my slope and y-intercept to graph the line. Okay, so my first step is to identify the y-intercept. So what is my y-intercept? I'll highlight this equation just in case you lost it, where it was. So what's my y-intercept? 2. A y-intercept is commonly written in the form 0 and then whatever my y-intercept is, because 0 is how many units I'm going left and right on the x-axis. So my y-intercept is at 0, 2. So then I'm going to go ahead and plot a point at 2 on my y-axis. So remember, y-intercepts always go up on the y-axis, up or down. So then I want to use slope. Yep. So my slope is 4/5. I'm going to go up 4, so that's my vertical change. And 5 is going to go right 5. So my vertical change will always be up or down, depending on if it's positive. And my horizontal change will always be right, because the sign only affects one of those values. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go up 4 spaces and right 5. So what do I want to do with my 2 points? I've graphed my points already. Draw the line to connect them. And I'm going to extend past them because this line goes on forever. Helps if I don't have my thumb in the way of the ruler. I want it to go on, yeah. Okay. So, quiet down, you guys. So, this means I start at 0, 2, my y-intercept. I'm going to move 4 units up and 5 units to the right. I actually don't like this chart, so we're just going to scratch it up. Usually I just take it off the worksheet before I print it. I actually do, you just don't see it. What? I usually take these things out before I print it. Okay, so, I also don't want to do this. You only need 2 points to plot a line. Okay, so then you want to draw a line through your points. Okay, does anyone still need this page up? It's just because of the graphs. The graphs make it big. Okay, so this one wants me to graph y equals negative 2x minus 1. What is my y-intercept?
-1.
Okay, so this point that I'm going to go graph is 0, negative 1. Because that's my b value. Then what's my slope? Yeah, negative 2. And then if it's not a fraction, I can always make it 1 because it's always over a secret 1. So then for my slope, I want to do what? I'm going to go down 2, right 1. What do I want to do with my 2 points? They're already graphed. Draw the line. Okay, so the next thing is writing the equation from the graph. So in order to write an equation from a graph, I need to know the slope and the y-intercept. So I can, if I have 2 points, I can use the slope formula. Hunter, sit down. Okay. So my first step is to find the slope between 2 points on the line. I want to make sure when I'm looking at my points that they're crossing nicely on the grid. I'm going to use this point right here And then this point is also crossing nicely there. Yes, Hunter? Okay. So, what is my vertical change here? How many am I going down?
4.
Count again.
3.
Okay. And then how many am I going over?
2. 6.
So my slope is my rise, which is -3, over my run, which is 2. Guys, okay, so now I want to identify my y-intercept. So what's my y-intercept? 4. And I'm going to write it as a point, which is 0, 4. Okay, so then I want to substitute my slope and my y-intercept back into slope-intercept form. So my slope is, what do we say my slope was? And my y-intercept? 4. So the equation of my graph is going to be y equals -3/2 x plus 4. Yeah, because it's a positive.